Condition my dog.
How did you?
Okay, this is how I figure out a dog's weight, and I just devised this one day. We figured it out and it worked, right?
That's my brother.
First we never had our dogs too heavy. They were always 2 or 3 pounds over their weight. But let's say they're a few pounds over his weight. I take the dog and keep him on his same feed. Don't add nothing, right? And then I condition him, what you would call, not condition, but I would work him out for 2 weeks, right? Start off. First 3 days, I work them 6 days a week, give them 1 day rest, right, for 2 weeks. This is how I find their pit weight. Okay, so the first 3 days on a bicycle, I run them half a mile. And the next 3 days, a mile. Then the next 3 days, mile and a half. Then at the end of 2 weeks, the next 3 days, I'm up to 2 miles. What'll happen is you're working them, their weight is going to drop, right? It'll drop and then it'll level off. Right? It'll level off and it'll stay there for a few days. He's real close to his pit weight. He's within 2 pounds generally of his pit weight when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And what'll happen is if you keep doing that, he's going to keep losing weight is what'll happen because you're not giving him any more food. Right? So that's kind of the pre-keep. I work them for 2 weeks. Their weight levels off. I'm real close to their pit weight, within 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Anyways, then for the keep, what I did is the first 4 weeks is I ran them on a bike up to 8 miles on a bike. Then the second half of the keep is I did a thing called baiting. And what I would do is I would have my son with Big Red, right, walking in front of me, and then I would have the dog I'm working in a working harness behind him. So that my son's walking in front of us with Big Red, the dog that I'm working is pulling towards Big Red. He wants to get him, right? And he's pulling the whole way, and I'm working up to 4 miles. Baiting is what we call that. So what I like to do when I work a dog is I like to build up their wind, their air first, and then build up their strength. I didn't mix the two because for me, you can't do no hard work unless you got air first, right? So I condition them the first 4 weeks to build up their air up to 8 miles. This is a full clip run, as hard as you can for 8 miles, right? And then now they got good air and they're in decent shape, right? They're in real good shape, but not close. Anyways, the second half of the keep is building their strength. And because strength was a big part of my dog's style, they had to have power. That's the way I condition them.
So it'd be 8 weeks instead of 6 weeks. Yeah.
But see, once you exercise your dog, once they're regularly exercised and they're fit and they're always in decent shape, I can take that dog that's real close to being conditioned, and with a month, I can have them hooked up and matched. So, and I did that. I did 4 dogs in 1 month one time, all by myself, in a month's period of time, just back to back. 2 I did on the same night, and then skipped the weekend, and I had another one, and then the next weekend I had another one. And I just worked them all a month because they were already close to weight.
And no other, just a bike.
People used to come to my yard and my house, and they go, "How do you work your dog? There's no cat, there's no treadmill, no spring pole, no high, no nothing." And I just point out to the field, in the orchard. I go, "That's how I work them." What? On the bike. They thought I was lying. They thought I was fishing. But I would put my stuff up when people come because I didn't want them to know. And then
I had the greasy corner kid tell me that's how out in the fields. He'd take his dog out in the field, and miles. There was these fields that just ran for miles and miles and miles. He'd take his dog out there.
And you can do that, For me, you can run a dog and they'll be in good shape, but it doesn't do anything for their stifles because generally people will run them with a collar. Right?
Okay.
You can't build strength in their stifles unless you're using a working harness or a harness.
Yeah.
Because they can't bear down with the thing on their collar. They can't bear down with their back legs and dig in. But when you put a harness on them, they can. And if you were to look back in the day and I was to compare conditioning, I would show you things on my dog and show you another dog in condition, and I would show you the difference. And I would tell you why. Because working a dog a certain way builds different muscles, builds certain things. And if you build a bolillo dog to have power, you're fucking them up. They're not built that way. They're not built for that. They don't fight that way. But if you build a deep dog for strength and power, that's what they are. They're built that way. They're strong.
So it's going to be a different keep for the individual.
For different, I would say a different keep for different bloodlines, different family of dogs.
Okay.
If you have a family of dogs that fight similar, their keep is going to be similar. Because if you have a different style or a different family of dogs, that keep's going to be different.
So you can't condition all these dogs the same way. They have to.
You can condition them using the same method, but the technique is generally different. Put it like this: my key was the same. I did the running first, and then the baiting, right? Bill, like Champion Bill, he was a strong, powerful dog. So I did the 4 weeks running, and then the 4 weeks baiting. Clayton Blood was a head dog, real fast. He didn't even fight like a deep dog. He didn't fight like, I don't know what, he fought like a police, right? He was a head dog. So instead of doing the 4 weeks running and then the 4 weeks, instead of doing the 8 miles running and the 4 miles baiting, with him, I did 10 miles running and 3 miles baiting, because he didn't, his style wasn't so much power, it was more speed. So I still did the same heat, I just changed it a little to adjust to his style. He was more on his feet, more move around. He had good air. Power wasn't his deal. So the keep's the same basically, but it's just adjusted different for dogs. Most of them I did the same. The distance was close. A bigger dog, you can run them longer. A smaller dog, you don't run them so long.
Okay, got it. Thank you.